Welcome to this module on TV commercials, which for most actors is the stepping stone or the starting point into the industry. And so really important, particularly for those that don't have any training or experience. This is the entry point and the springboard into potentially big money and also into a potential acting career. So these modules will be really important. So TV commercials, effectively, there is a misunderstanding amongst the general community who kind of think that in order to be able to get TV commercials, you need full-time actor training or to be a NIDA graduate or to be spectacularly good looking, but none of these things are actually true. TV commercials are looking, or producers and advertisers of TV commercials are looking for real people. They're looking to reflect society as it is today in terms of not only ethnic diversity, but age, looks, types, educational experience, socioeconomic background. All of those factors come into play. And it's very, very difficult to cast from a wide, diverse range of people if you're exclusively looking at actors, trained actors, because people who go into acting school and complete acting courses, particularly full-time ones, tend not to be extremely diverse. They tend to come from a fairly narrow social and economic backgrounds and levels because it's expensive. Drama school training is expensive. Not everybody has the opportunity and ability to actually do 3 years of full-time training or go to NIDA. And places like that are very exclusive. They audition thousands of people and only take a very select few. So in order to reflect society and all its diversity, TV commercial producers are not necessarily looking for people with experience and training. They're looking for people who have a basic understanding of how to be relaxed in front of a camera, how to conduct themselves on set, and just be themselves effectively in a relaxed kind of manner. And that's something that can be learned quite quickly. And the other factor is that agents understand this as well. And so agents who specialize in TV commercials, and in Australia, that's just about every agent because all the money is in TV commercials. So effectively, in order to be able to fulfill all of the roles that are available and that come in to an agency, if you were simply restricting yourself to trained and experienced people, you just wouldn't be able to fulfill every brief. So the opportunities are there, and it's open to everybody. So don't think that, I don't have any training experience, so I can't become a TV commercial actor. Well, that's just not true. Diversity, ethnic diversity is so important. So if you come from a background that is not necessarily white Anglo-Saxon, you're going to be in a very in-demand sort of position. If you do come from a white Anglo-Saxon background, then you need to find out what's unique and different about you. And similar to the other modules we've talked about in this program, find out what's unique, different. Embrace your differences. Don't try and be vanilla and try and be like everybody else. Really embrace your differences. Highlight those. Whether it's a physical feature, red hair, big ears, crooked teeth, no matter what it is, embrace it and be yourself and market yourself as the unique individual that you are. So these things are so much more important than acting skill and training. So it seems to go against the grain of popular beliefs, but it's actually very true. So if you can understand the basics of how to conduct yourself on a set and how to market yourself, you understand the basics that we've talked about in other modules in this program in terms of marketing yourself through headshots and self-tapes and the like. So combining all of the previous learnings that you've had into this one, and then pitching yourself to agents as a TV commercial actor. That's the springboard. And while you're doing that, and you're potentially earning big money, and we'll talk about the money you can make in just a second. While you're doing that, you're going to then be getting the experience and doing the training on the side that can then potentially lead you to acting roles in TV series and later down the track film. So it's really a stepping stone. TV commercials into TV series, acting into film acting. Probably for most people, it's probably at least a 5-year process from being a rank beginner into being someone who's likely to land roles in film. There are exceptions to all of these rules, of course, but a 5-year time frame would be a reasonable one, and getting those first few TV commercials gives casting directors particularly confidence that you can do the job. Of course, you have to be doing that training along the way on the side in order to be able to get film and TV roles. But if that's not something you're interested in and you're just looking for a side hustle and you're wanting to keep your day job, TV commercials are a great way of doing that. So you can have a full-time job and submit your self-tapes in the evenings or on weekends, and it's doable. It's definitely doable. So you need to understand the different types of TV commercials. Product endorsement ones effectively are a presenter speaking to camera, holding up a particular product or talking about a particular product direct to camera. So that's something that those of you who are good at public speaking, who are able to relax in front of a camera, personality type of performers would be suitable for product endorsement type of TV commercials. So that's a particular skill set, and again, not something that you necessarily need to go to drama school for 3 years full-time to be able to do. The next one is narrative commercials, which tell a story. And so you're just a small part of the story. So it might be mum and dad and the kids, jumping in the car and going on a holiday and pulling into the petrol station. And, it might be a car commercial, it might be fast food, whatever it happens to be. You're just a small part of this story, of this journey of the particular characters who are using the product along the way. You might be on screen for a matter of seconds. So it's how you look that's really the most important thing, not your acting ability. If you're on screen for 3 seconds and you're eating something or you're getting into a car and going on a drive, it doesn't take a lot of skill, acting skill. So it's really how you look, and it's really your ability to understand what to do when you're on set. These things don't take a lot of time or training to be able to do. So if you're in a narrative commercial, that's probably the one that for most people just starting out, they're most likely to be able to score, because they have that particular look. They look like a mum, they look like a dad, they look like a tradie, they look like a teacher, they look like a nurse, So you've just really got to turn up on the day, wear the costume. Taking direction is really important. So being, knowing how to take direction, to listen to what the director's asking you to do, not to complicate things, not to overact, just to be yourself effectively. They're the keys, and these things don't take a lot of time to learn how to do. And the third one is really voiceovers. For those who are interested in doing that, there are training courses available for voiceover as well. And that's when it's effectively text or images and no people in the commercial necessarily. I mean, there are voiceovers with people in the commercials as well. But as a separate entity, the voiceover commercial, the voiceover actor is behind the scenes and narrating or giving the voiceover to the images that are on screen. So the different types of roles and categories and fees, it's important to understand there are really 3 levels. There's the hero role. The hero role is where you're in a commercial and the whole commercial centers around you. You're probably speaking, not necessarily. You don't have to be speaking to be the hero character. But everything revolves around you. You're the main center of attention. And that's where the big dollars are in the hero role. You're looking at for a hero role, minimum $5,000 for a day. Generally, it might be, it might be 2 days, it might be 3 days. You get a shoot fee per day plus the usage. So minimum 5, more likely 10 to 20,000 if the whole thing really centers around you. A hero role is not likely to be less than about $5,000. The middle level, the middle tier, is the featured extra. The featured extra is supporting the hero character if there is one, or the whole commercial might be just featured extras. So it means you're not in the background, you're in the foreground, you're part of the action, you're being directed to do something, but the whole commercial doesn't center around you. So that's, you're looking at sort of $1,500 to $5,000 if it's a one-day shoot, and the usage is 6 to 12 months, around about that kind of level. There are obviously degrees within this, but these are generalizations, but give you a bit of a ballpark. And the third category is the extra. The extra is in the background. Is usually not given much direction. Might be someone just sitting in the back of a coffee shop while the main featured extras and hero characters are in the foreground doing their actions. So extras agents are different to acting agents, and we've talked about that in other areas of this program as well. And extras are paid on an hourly basis, $35, $40 an hour. They're not paid for the usage of their image. It's a completely different kettle of fish. People doing this program, generally speaking, you're not going to be wanting to be an extra. Maybe you'll do it once or twice just to get experience on set, but you don't need to be doing this program. You don't need to be doing any program at all to be an extra. You just need to join with an extras agent who usually charge a fee, as we've talked about before. So you don't really want to be doing that. Featured extra roles are the starting point. Marketing yourself with your headshots and your self-tapes, finding your unique selling proposition and sending that message out into the marketplace, getting some experience on set, and then leveraging that into hero roles in TV commercials where you're getting those extra that extra income, and then leveraging that into film and television roles down the track. So that's the plan. That's what we're working towards. And that gives you hopefully a good overview of the roles and opportunities that are available to you as a TV commercial actor.